All right, we are here for round two for our Modern Horizons 3 top eight. We got Emmett over there on the other side, who we saw at round one with his Boros deck, up against Michael B, or Monkey Mage, who had that. We saw green red with potentially some black. We'll see exactly how much he is into those colors. What's going on in Emmett's hand? I know he took a mulligan.
Yeah, so he went down to 6. Unfortunately, missing a 2-drop creature, which is really not what you want to see in this red-white deck. But aside from that, it's not bad. So he's got one more land. He has some decent removal with Dog Umber, which we're seeing coming down now, and an Expel the Unworthy. He's got a Siege Mash, a Witch Enchanter, and then the card you're about to see played, which is everyone's favorite commander card.
Is it Lelia the Blade Reforged?
The one and only.
There you go.
Yeah, this house. What's Michael working with over there?
So that Lelia is potentially going to meet an end here with the Wither and Bloom in hand. So Michael, again, his this head does not give us too much insight into what his splash color is, if any. I'm guessing black, but he has a Glimpse of the Impossible, Wither and Bloom, Trickster's Elk, Annoyed Altasaur, a Forest, and his card drawn for turn Infernal Captor, which makes me think black is his third color. We'll
Okay.
see. We'll see more in sideboarding. He's just gonna get some beats on here. He said, "My opponent's playing Boros. I'm not gonna sit around here. I'm just gonna get in for three while I can. I don't need this spawn for mana. It no longer can sack for mana because it has lost that ability." And the Witch
So this
Enchanter
witch
says, "You can go back to being a 0/1. Thank you very much."
finds a good target, which is good because Emmett wouldn't have really had a great play. He's drawn a Skoa, but that's still a couple turns off of being cast.
Yeah, so this looks like it's going to be a Glimpse of the Impossible turn here. And Michael's drawn a Kozilek's command here, which okay, so he will be able to bestow this Spring Heart if he wishes to, which I imagine he wishes to. Oh,
Okay, just two past it.
okay.
I don't know why you wouldn't want to
Yeah, just
bestow it
bestow
on.
it on the 3/3.
I mean, worst comes to worst, it still does the same thing. Now it's vulnerable to this expel. Yeah, I don't know if I like that.
Hmm, yeah.
Uh,
So
it
he's got
protects it.
Kozilek's command is live now thanks to the spawns here.
Yeah. That's definitely a scary card, and it's not one that you're usually thinking of playing around either.
Yeah, and thanks to the mulligan, Emmett's running out of cards here. His only really threat that he had lately had got answered pretty quickly. So Michael,
Yeah.
he's drawn another Glimpse of the Impossible. So it looks like he's got the maybe the black is just for Wither and Bloom, and I think he might have had a couple gold cards if I recall. We'll see in sideboarding, but it looks to be the
He had
green red deck, which is what we saw him what we saw he had. Oh, instead of
ended
doing
up
Kozilek's command, he said, let's just play a 7-drop here. Put the pressure on."
He's got the Toxic Deluge in his deck too, I believe, right?
Ooh, that's a nice one.
Oh, that's a great hit. Yeah.
Yeah, that
Uh,
is real bad for Emmett. That is wow. Okay.
yeah, we definitely saw the strength of Emmett's deck when it gets out early, but
Yeah,
we're kind of seeing the opposite problem here where it's run out of gas a little too quickly.
and he's
And now
doesn't have any great threats in his hand. Opponent's at 17 life, so Michael has to be feeling pretty good about the current state of this game. We'll see if Emmett can turn it around here.
he can play the Skoa and just hit face, I suppose, but that's, it's not exactly what you want to be doing with Skoa when your opponent's at 17.
Definitely not. But we know he has we know he has three more.
It is true. We could see some Firestorms being cast.
Oh, so that's Wayscape Battle Mage. He doesn't have blue, but he can just get rid of this Dog Umber and free his Eldrazi Repurposer if he
I
wishes
don't
to.
even. You probably wouldn't even want about Skoa anyway.
Oh God, no. And you
I
can't
will put
bounce
this
your own
back.
things. And you can't bounce your own things. I know that. So
Yep, that's right.
I mean, Wayscape Battle Mage is good if you can only kick it once. Like if you can kick either side, you still play it every time.
Yeah, it's a little hard to cast, but
All right. He
certainly
says
with it.
now that my repurposer is free, I can rumble with it and put a counter and knock you down to 7. And with this Infernal Captor in hand for some surprise
Okay.
damage, it's going to be hard for Emmett to to mount a comeback here.
Well, we did say he's got more Skoas, and we see at least one of them draw for turn.
All right, so I don't know if he's casting it or if he's I don't know if he's sacking his mountains either. So
Well, his only other card is a Siege Smash, which is not really too impactful right now. I don't
it's
see why you wouldn't
not
cast.
getting it done. Yeah, he can attack and then cast the other one.
But regardless, you said he's Michael's holding an Infernal Captor, right?
Yeah,
It should just be lethal anyway. Even if he chooses to kill the repurposer, he'll be taking lethal damage next turn.
yeah, the Infernal Captor can come down and grab whatever he needs it to. Yeah, he's going to attack. Michael said, I'm just going to block to be safe here. I don't know what combination, Siege Smash and Legion Leadership or whatever, a pump spell plus a double the power will do it. So
Certainly not worth the risk.
no, this 2/2 is not doing much. It did its job, most certainly.
Emmett kind of hovering Siege Smash, thinking, hey, maybe do I want to just push some damage in here? Doesn't mean he has to, he'll have to Firestorm a Skoa instead of casting it, which maybe is not worth it.
Yeah. So one thing that we didn't mention yet is that all 8 players are live to win the league, unlike some other leagues where you have players who have a lot more points than the people in 7th or 8th. Everybody here is separated by 3 points. So whoever wins the Megadraft will just outright win the league. And obviously, both of these players are looking to make the finals here. Whoever wins this match gets a shot to win the league. Neither of them have won a league. So, yeah, this captor is just going to end the game straight up. As it usually does. That's usually how you want to use this card.
Yep.
And that's going to be 10. Yeah, Emmett, I mean, he didn't have a 2-drop. He just didn't. He just never really got going. A couple too
Yeah,
many
took a
lands
while.
probably in the early game, and then a few too few spells in the late game.
And I think I mentioned this when we were going over Emmett's deck, but he's going to have those nuts games like he did against Nick, and he's going to have these games where his curve just doesn't agree with him, and the other decks can catch up.
Yeah, so I would call the black more than just a splash. He has double Wither and Bloom, Emperor of Bones, the rare, Accursed
Uh-oh.
Marauder, Toxic Deluge, the Koram the Undertaker, and Fetid Gargantua. So it's what I would call a 4-color deck here with his Devour of Destiny and Kozilek's command. But I mean, he's got the power. He was one of the ones who had double Chrysalis. Yeah, so pretty scary looking deck here when it works out, and he does have a lot of things to do on too. So that's always good. And the mana worked out that good. He had all 3 colors in the opening hand, so he was good to go no matter what he drew.
So we see Emmett actually sideboarding all the Skoas out,
Huh.
and to kind of put in a couple more early creatures. He's bringing in the Wingets that were in his sideboard, and then he's got a couple Infernal Captors he's looking at here too.
Okay, so he's looking for like surprise damage, I guess.
Yeah, just trying to get on board as early as possible and kind of overwhelm Michael's defenses, and then finish off the game with a big swing.
Yeah, I still like having like a couple Skoas just for the potential of dealing the direct damage to the player when you get them low enough. But Wing It kind of will do the same thing except for 2 mana.
Yeah, and there's something to be said about Michael having seen 2 Skoas and probably will be playing around them now, which is to its advantage.
Yeah, it's a tough one to play around, but yeah, you can make decisions with the knowledge that there might be one coming now.
Yeah.
So not an amazing hand here for Michael. He does keep on the back of this Malevolent Rumble. So he's got Bridgeworks Battle and Swamp as his lands, a Toxic Deluge, Malevolent Rumble, Spring Heart, and Tuco, and 2 red cards, which are
Okay.
uncastable as of yet, which is Captor, Infernal Captor, and Skoa. So the Malevolent Rumble can hopefully find a red source, and then he can get going from there.
Emmett, unfortunately, having to take a mulligan, he drew his
Nice.
first hand was 2 mountains and 5 white cards.
Mm.
But what we're working with now is Glyph Elemental, Dog Umbra, Thundering Eruption, and then 2 more lands, one of which is a landscape, which will pump up our
Well,
glyph elemental some
we
more.
saw what the glyph elemental could do last round. He's
Yeah,
hoping
it's a
for
bird
it to do
card.
similar things here.
Unfortunately, he doesn't have quite the backup that he did against
Yeah.
Nick, but
So you can pick up
certainly,
those sheltering to get his red source for down the line.
yeah, no more creatures. He's drawn a Thraben Charm, so he's pretty well set on removal. But I'm not sure this Glyph Elemental is going to win the game by itself.
Yeah, Michael's got a couple ways to kill it. He has the Toxic Deluge. He also has Kotelet's Command, which he can play next turn if he wishes to.
And that would be what X equals 2, right? Would be
Yeah,
enough for get that Glyph Elemental off the board.
yeah, and he's got the landscape here, so he may just do that and put two more 0/1s into play. Yeah, I
Yeah.
think
And
that's what he's doing.
notably, this Dog Umber will not save Glyph Elemental because Totem Umber does not care if he gets exiled.
Sure doesn't. So this 5/5 is about to get exiled, it would seem. I don't think Michael's in a state to take 5 here.
But after this, Emmett, I mean, he's out of gas. He's drawn another land for the turn. I'm
Yeah,
not sure what he does.
we kind of saw that last game, right? He just sort of played a couple threats, they got answered, and then kind of unfortunately fell flat after that. Just didn't draw what he needed.
It is
Doesn't
kind of
really
the bane
doesn't
of
really
Emmett.
have a like sources of card advantage in the deck, right?
Not really. He's got
Lelia, I
this,
guess.
okay, 2-for-1s, but he doesn't have any, he doesn't have any of those glimpses, the impossibles, nothing that really keeps his
Yeah,
hand coming.
Ral and the Implicit Maze also
I don't
something
believe he
that would
has
be
any,
good, but no.
I don't think he has any amulets either.
Yeah, it's
Those
kind of a deck that
amulets-
just has to draw the hand that works, and go for it. He's just going to
And
get
this
this
is,
out of the way, and he says, "Wow, I didn't think I'd get to counter a Thraben Charm as well as."
yeah, not only is this Glyph Elemental getting exiled, but he's 2-for-1ing Emmett in the process.
And Emmett's probably
Uh,
thinking, "There's not that much for green, black, colorless that can
that
kill
could
a
answer.
5/5."
Yeah,
But
but
this is one you can't really see coming. So he's
yeah.
gonna scry rather than make more spawn, which I kind of think more spawn is good, just so we could cast more things. But scrying is also good.
Yeah. Wow. Yeah. So Emmett, he's he's hovering over the concede, just thinking, like this is pretty
Eh,
much it. I don't
well,
think.
it's well, he still has cards in his deck that can put the pressure on, but it's not great. And here's a writhing chrysalis on top of the deck, which is going to be a groaner for sure here.
Yeah, I don't blame him really. I mean,
Swamp on the bottom, chrysalis on top, mountain in hand for Michael, so it's online immediately.
uh,
And
yeah.
I mean, if he wanted to concede before, yeah, he may be wanting to
Yep.
do. He may be
Oh,
more. Yeah,
yeah. I'm
unfortunate
good.
here. Just the Boros deck didn't do what it needed to. Chrysalis comes down. We know Emmett doesn't really have anything to get around that or to wipe it out cleanly. So we get to see Michael, in his second top 8 in his second league, make it to the finals with a chance to win the league. So congratulations to Michael, and we'll be back a little later for the finals.